Thank you, President Ono. My name is Angela Reedish, and I am the Provost and Vice President Academic of the University of British Columbia. Every year at Congregation, UBC has the honor of bestowing honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the university community, have fit the criteria of excellence and eminence in their chosen field. Judith Hall is one of those individuals, and I invite her to step forward to receive her honorary degree. Do you want your stick? All right.
It's fine.
No, okay, we've got lots to do before you get to talk.
Okay.
Let me just read a few words. Mr. Vice Chancellor, Dr. Judith Hall is a distinguished clinical geneticist and pediatrician whose prolific research on the neural mechanisms and genetics underlying human congenital anomalies has received national and international recognition. Dr. Hall joined UBC in 1981 as a professor of medical genetics and director of genetic services for British Columbia. She served as head of the Department of Pediatrics and the BC Children's Hospital for 10 years, where she played an active role in developing standards for clinical genetic services, both at home and abroad. She also established numerous liaisons with lay groups on a variety of issues related to specific genetic disease entities, healthcare delivery for children, child advocacy issues, gender issues, and international pediatric child health. An influential scholar and leader, Dr. Hall is a Foundation Fellow of UBC's Green College and a key figure in the establishment of the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences. She has edited major international journals, served numerous organizations, including the UN Scientific Committee on Effective Atomic Radiation, the Management Committee of the Canadian Genome Analysis and Technology Program, and the American National Center for Human Genome Research. As Professor Emerita, she continues to be an active researcher, advocate, and contributor to the university's intellectual life and its international profile as the recipient of countless awards, including her investiture in 1998 as an Officer of the Order of Canada. In 2011, she was made a Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada, and in 2013, she received the Founders Award for Excellence in Medical Genetics from the Canadian College of Medical Geneticists. Finally, just 2 years ago, she took her well-deserved place in the Canadian Medical Hall of Fame. Mr. Vice Chancellor, in recognition of her vast and extraordinary contributions to the study of and treatment of genetic disorders, and for her profound influence as a healthcare advocate and leader, I ask you to confer the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa upon Judith G. Hall.
By the authority of the Senate and this university, I confer upon you, Judith G. Hall, the title and degree, Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Congratulations.
It gives me great pleasure to now ask Dr. Hall to say a few words.
Let me say what an honor it is to be here today. There's something incredibly special about being recognized by your own institution. However, no one receives such an honor without the support over many years of colleagues, peers, trainees, staff, and family. I am very grateful to all these people. I want to congratulate each of you on this special day. If you think back to the beginning of your program, you will realize that you have been through a time of transformation. What could be more appropriate when we are in the unceded territory of the Musqueam than to use one of their most important concepts, the ability, the potential for transformation. And the concept was used in their legends and their crests. So our thanks for what they're teaching us. I came to UBC 36 years ago and served on the faculty for 25 years before my mandatory retirement. Mandatory retirement is now a thing of the past, and I'm now an emerita, a retired faculty academic person. The past 13 years have been perhaps the most productive and the most fun time in my whole life. So although you are just beginning your careers, beginning your work life, I can assure you there's a lot to look forward to, and that many things will change over time. In the year I was born, life expectancy was 59 years. Now, as a woman on the west coast of Canada, my life expectancy is in the late 80s, an extra 30 years. How fortunate I have been. And who knows whether you may still add another 30 years to your life expectancy. I understand that I am meant to say something wise, a short something. So as I reflected about what to say, I thought back to my graduations, my times of transition. I remember the dean suggesting when I started medical school that only 10% of what we would learn over the next 4 years would be true 10 years from then. The trouble, he said, was I didn't know which 10%. And in my specialty, medical genetics, it's probably true. So much has been evolving and changing, and there's a lot to keep up with. And of course, that sort of growth of knowledge is only accelerating. A bit discouraging when I was just graduating, but I think of the opportunities to be part of discovery, part of innovation. Like your time, my time was also one of turbulence and finding new solutions. For instance, there were only 5 women in my medical school class of 75. Now there are usually more than 50% in classes of 300. I do know what it is like. So I do know what it's like to be an outsider. In these 5 short minutes, I want to impart to you the advice that as you leave your university experience, you assume an attitude, one of gratitude. Particularly just now, as you are graduating and stepping away, there are so many people to whom to be grateful. Your family, your teachers, your colleagues, your mentors, the list goes on. Some of the gratefulness relates to our good fortune to live in Canada. We Canadians tend to complain, but look around the world, even just across the border, and be grateful to be Canadian. I want to suggest that you assume your attitude of gratitude to be grateful when the going gets tough. It's much easier to complain, to find fault, to find someone else or something else to blame. However, looking for things for which to be grateful at a time of stress puts you in a mindset which will hold you in good stead for the rest of your life. That's my advice. assume an attitude of gratitude. Perhaps it has to do with the added years, but I seem to find more and more things about which to be grateful. And I can tell you there would be plenty to complain about. You'd be amazed how many things you can find to be grateful. Try making a list, particularly in your darkest moments. It puts you in a hopeful counting mode rather than a negative funk. So I want to wish you all, at this very special moment in your life, that you develop a habit of gratitude. And I extend to each of you your very best attitudes of gratitude. Godspeed.